Hello, it's Jennifer. Today is Thursday, April 25th. It's been 2 weeks since I last went over my small tomato plants. So today I'm going to give an update at 12 weeks. This is Little Bites. Last time we saw Little Bites was looking pretty beat down. And this time, after getting fertilized and receiving a little extra love and attention, it looks like there's starting to be some new little growing tips. So here, back here, come on, and possibly up here. Also, you'll notice that lots of little tomatoes on it. So I don't know how long these are going to take to ripen, maybe a couple weeks. And then there's some new little tomato buds up here, so like a second flush of tomatoes is coming. And off of this little plant that now has grown a little more than over a foot tall, it looks like I'm going to get a lot of tomatoes off of it. So this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 on this bract. There are 5, looks like 11 again on this bract here. And a lot here too. So this is Little Bites. It looks like it just needs some fertilizer, so don't forget to give your tomatoes some love. Anyhow, I'm glad to see that's on the mend. These are the two Patio Princesses. So last time I mentioned that eventually they'll need support, and the time that they needed support came a few days ago. Both of them started leaning outward, so I went ahead and put up this support. And basically it's just an H for now to keep them together in the center here. As you can see, there's lots of tomatoes on this plant of various sizes. Here's a nice big one. And the same over here. Lots of tomatoes. There's one back there. Nice big one. Can't get the focus, but let's see. It's there. And it too seems to have benefited from the fertilizer, so lots of new flowers up top. So these two plants should probably last a few months, and if they act like they plant some last year, the tomatoes will taste better and better as I get more and more tomatoes. So these first tomatoes here may not taste very good at all, but the later tomatoes should taste pretty good. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plant does. And now that it's in a different position that gets more sun in the day than when I planted last year, I wonder if this plant is going to get any bigger. So, looking good. Over here is the super bush. It doesn't look much different than it did 2 weeks ago. It's got some flowers on it. It's got a little tomato up there. I'm not sure if there's something wrong with it or it just doesn't like the position. It looks like it has some powdery mildew. So I'll go ahead and spray for that. Maybe it's just a slow or developing plant. I'm not sure. But it looks like there's a new growing tip there. And there are some suckers here and here. So for determinate plants, I don't remove the suckers. So hopefully it's just a slow starter. We'll see. Again, this is super bush. And this one in here amongst the crystal wax onions is the Tasmanian Chocolate. And it hasn't changed much since 2 weeks. It's got some flowers on it. It doesn't look like there's any fruit. Looks like the flowers are dropping. So maybe the flowers will stick as it gets to be a bigger plant. I don't know. It looks like it's still unfurling here with these different growing tips. don't see any suckers down below, except for maybe that little guy down there. And the onions surrounding it, I've already started to harvest some of these. The crystal wax onions, or otherwise known as Bermuda onions. Don't know if there's anything I can do about this now. Maybe there's too many onions and it's sapping the plant. I don't know. But that's its condition now. Again, this is the Tasmanian Chocolate. And this is the first of my bush stake plants. So this one's on the opposite side of the yard as the other bush stake plants. And it just started taking off. So the main stem has thickened quite a bit. It's now got some suckers coming off. It's got some flowers here, nice big ones. Probably need to go ahead and stake it up here a little bit. Some more nice flowers. Some more buds coming here. So this looks very promising. Maybe it just needed some extra nutrition. I also have been giving it extra water. So I've been hand watering it along with the drip irrigation. And it's looking really good. Again, this is bush stake. Going a little out of order from last time, I'm going to go over here to Atlas. So the Atlas has taken off here. Lots of flowers on it. Nice big flowers too. It's really hard to tell how big this flower is, but it's pretty big compared to a normal tomato flower. One of the problems with Atlas is once the tomatoes start coming in, they overwhelm the plant stems. So one of the things you'll see here with the Atlas is that it has lots of suckers, and it also has weak connections here at the joints. So this one here, which has a lot of flowers on it, that has the big flowers on it, I'm worried that when it does actually start having tomatoes, that it'll just pop off, oops, at the joint here. So I'm thinking now about how do I save this plant. Is it a matter of staking to support, that particular branch that came off? I guess I'll try that for now. So I'm really worried, but I am pleased by the amount of flowers. But these tomatoes basically start off at a pound and get larger. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all of these huge tomatoes if they come. But that's a problem to worry about later. The plant itself seems very healthy, lots of flowers. I would recommend this as like a patio plant if all you want is big tomatoes. But still, there's the matter of wrangling the branches such that they don't pop off and the plant doesn't self-destruct. So again, this is Atlas. I do expect it to get a lot bushier than this, but not much taller. So for now, I've just gone ahead and put in a couple of stakes in preparation for later plant growth. This back stake over here, I went ahead and tied that branch to start giving it support now. And as the plants gains tomatoes, I will go from there to see what I can do to best keep this plant from self-destructing. Okay, over here is the Inca Jewels. So compared to 2 weeks ago, it looks about the same. The only difference now is that it has fruits on it. So as you can see, the characteristic Roma looking fruits. It's got more fruits coming on up here. It seems to now have a few suckers. So maybe I have one up here too, this guy here. So maybe this plant will grow into something more than it is. As of right now though, it's just disappointing. It looks very sickly, and it doesn't look like any of the fertilizer I gave it has done anything. So I'm not sure what to do about this tomato. I've been hand watering it and supplementing the drip irrigation, but I'll go ahead and wait and see what the tomatoes taste like. I also started another plant, another 2 plants One I will try growing outside again, and the other one I will try growing inside to see if it does better in an inside environment. This one here is another one of the bush steaks. So this one got powdery mildew pretty bad. So from the spray you can see where parts of the skin here just turned brown. It still looks kind of sickly, but I am encouraged by the little side shoots here, the little suckers. So this plant still may have some life in it and may get bigger. And this is the big boy, the one who was in this plastic pot all along, unlike these which were in those fabric pots. And it's doing great. It's got, let's see if we can get in there. Yeah, it's hard to get in here, but right there's a tomato, and it's got lots of flowers. It's got lots of good foliage to shield those tomatoes from sun scald as they grow. It's probably reached its peak height now, unless this somehow isn't a bush steak, but it should be. It was labeled as such. It's a good looking overall plant. And then this is the other small bush steak that's now catching up. It's got some side shoots now and flowers. It's looking pretty good. So I'll come back to these at 16 weeks, so in a month. By then hopefully there should be some ripening tomatoes, or at least some green, nice big green tomatoes, so you can see how big the tomatoes get. So again, this is Inca Jewels, which is aroma type, and these are bush steak, which are beef steak type tomatoes.